Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about him waiting out there is scary. Crumbl Cookie's worker closes store, but there's an angry Doordash driver outside. So Doordash orders come in at many different periods of the day, some of which are even at night and after a store closes. Whether that's because the app actually has it set for the same time in which it closes or half an hour before. And this Crumbl Cookie's worker is exposing the driver for being upset about what the driver is saying. I don't know what the reason is officially. I'm just speculating, but we're about to find out. So with that said, we are talking about everything that's being said in this article, how it actually is for Doordash, UberEats, and Grubhub drivers and customers, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. A Crumbl Cookie's worker shares her experience with a disgruntled Doordash driver who tried to intimidate her after he arrived 30 minutes after the store closed. In a video with over 270,000 views posted on December 8th, TikTok users ZuraWord96 shares a clip of the inside of the Crumbl Cookies where she works, showing a Doordash order on the screen. The things you do for content, huh? I'm gonna leave our TikTok as well as our profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject.
So I just closed the store and there's a DoorDash order on the screen that came in after we closed, mind you. It's almost 11:30. We closed at 11. I've been closed for like 20 minutes now. So the DoorDasher's like at the door yanking on the door and shit. For what? Like, we're closed. Dog, the lights are literally off. This is the only light on. It's in the back. I'll show you what the front looks like. So this is what the front of the store looks like. And for some reason, this DoorDasher is just sitting in the front. Bitch, I'm not going to my car now.
First off, if the lights are already out and you're at the point to where you're closed up and everything, the first thing you should do is report the store closure or unassign, whichever one you feel more comfortable with. Obviously, I would say report the store closure, but Bud Soda actually got deactivated for reporting store closures as well as Uberlyft Phoenix, so maybe there's something to be said there. That doesn't mean you start yanking on the door and assume they're actually open. They could very well just be closed. And why is that not the expectation at 11:30 at night? Like, what the hell? She claims the driver then angrily stormed back to his car and waited over 15 minutes, sharing a clip of his car in the front of the store in a follow-up video. Okay, so I can tell you exactly what happened there. They're so tired of dealing with support, they made a call to support after 15 minutes. While they were there, they took a few minutes, made a report to Doordash support, got them to give him half pay. He knows he hates that, and he left from there. Expletive. I'm not going to my car now, she says in the caption. She explains that she snuck out the back and left the store low-key a mess to avoid the driver, and his erratic behavior made her feel unsafe. Okay, now you're just taking it way too overboard. I get it. She's not a Doordash driver to where she would understand that, but you're not unsafe because of that. He's just mad at the situation. He's not mad at you. And I get it. Doordash support is frustrating. The concept that people get deactivated for reporting a store closed when it's actually closed and it's not a justifiable reason to deactivate them is frustrating. That's not something you should be like,
oh my god, I can't believe he was upset about that.
Now, granted, he should not have been yanking on the door and been upset at the store closure, and going all the way there just to find that out is annoying, but he should have handled himself better. That doesn't change the fact that he could have just been like, all right, fine, whatever, report the store closure, etc. Especially if you're driving that late at night. That should just be like, hey, sometimes you're just gonna deal with that. Why did the order go through? In the comments, several viewers empathized with the Doordash driver, asking the TikToker how the order could go through if the store was closed. She explains in the caption, which she edited after the post went viral. Our POS system is automated. Crumbl didn't give us access to shut off ordering, and that wouldn't have done anything. The order was placed before we closed, and the Dasher accepted it almost 30 minutes past the closing time, she writes. Okay, I'll tell you exactly how that went down. Somebody placed that order as a no-tip order before store closure. He got it 30 minutes after because it was waiting that long and the base pay grew that much. They ended up calling support, and that's how they ended up in that situation. And he's annoyed that he went all the way there for half pay. He probably even drove a fair distance to get there. But you know what I am noting right off the bat? I like how the viewers are empathizing with him, the driver, and that's the forefront here. Granted, he should have handled himself much more professionally, but still. I wonder how angrily he was actually opening the door, though. Like, was it just, fuck? Or was it, like, aggressive, like, banging on the door and shit? Like, that's what I'm really curious about. While she is a manager, she explains in another follow-up video that only general managers, corporate employees, and store owners can make changes to the POS system. She's not a GM or like a corporate level employee or even a store owner. She's just like a shift manager or something, like a lesser manager. Continues explaining that she also understands his frustrations, but his actions made her uncomfortable. Him trying to do his job isn't the issue. The issue was the way he acted when I wouldn't reopen the store. The fact that he made me feel uncomfortable while I was also just trying to do my job so I can go home. But instead, I snuck out the back and left the store a low-key mess because I didn't feel safe staying at the store alone, she writes. A part of me wonders if that is an overreaction or just a way for her to justify going home early. I don't know. I feel like there's something else to that. But I also don't know what is the definition of what makes her feel uncomfortable. I feel like a lot of girls these days over-exaggerate the issue. Doordash drivers weigh in. While many customers empathize with the driver, other Doordash drivers called out his creepy behavior. As a Doordash driver myself, if a store is closed, I report it as closed and they still pay you minus the customer tip. It's not that big a deal if the place is closed. Report that Dasher one suggests. From what I remember, it's usually a half pay, not the minus tip or anything like that. Minus tip would be more like Instacart. Sounds more like you're an Instacart shopper than a Doordash driver, but okay. In response to the comment, the TikToker says she may report the Doordash driver and ban him from the store. I didn't even think about reporting him, honestly, but I'm gonna pull the order up on Monday and just do a full ban because that's all I can really do, she says. First off, you're a manager with no ability to change what's in the POS system, but you could do that. Where was that coming from? I'm feeling a cap already. You could have just taken a pic to show it's closed and moved on, another viewer says. You see, that's what I'm saying. Like, most people would just take a picture of the door or whatever store hours there are, or maybe there aren't store hours and you can only show a lights out store, and that would be the end of it. But no, there are easy options to designate that the order cannot be picked up, and you can give a reason why. Any Dasher who has a problem, it's with them, not the store or the customer, a third adds. Or support in general, like some people just don't like to deal with support. That's also a them thing more than a store or a customer thing. They're right. According to DoorDasher's website, the app will mark the store as closed if a Dasher reports it. The driver will still receive half pay for the order. You see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you'll get half pay. You won't get base minus tip. That's Instacart. Like, if you're gonna hold people accountable to the facts, let's get the facts right. Viewers make suggestions for DoorDash. Several food service workers placed the blame on DoorDash and shared their own experience with the platform. I work at Sonic, and we get phantom orders sometimes. We tell the Dasher and ask them to report it, since we can't cancel on our end, and they just drop the order. And somebody else picks it up to come harass us for it, and we gotta start all over, one shares. drivers. Yeah, you see, that's another thing. Like, some people either don't understand the difference between canceling an order and having an order canceled, which are two videos I've actually made on this subject, by the way. And some just don't like to deal with support because they feel like just unassigning the order will be more profitable to them than getting the half pay, which in some cases that's true. Dude, I had this happen one time. A DoorDash driver came to Chipotle 30 minutes after we closed, and the person asked us if we could remake their food. We literally had no food left, another says. I don't know why people ask that. Like, if somebody says somebody picked it up already, I'll just take half pay and dip. Like, I'm not gonna wait for them to start the entire order over again. That's a waste of time. Yeah, this was the worst part about it. One time, we had 3 Dashers for the same order while trying to close, and one of them kept yelling through the door a third ads. Yeah, some people really need to understand how the system works. I don't make these things for my health, you know. In response, others suggest improvements to the app to prevent issues between DoorDash drivers and food service workers. I don't understand why DoorDash and UberEats don't just have stores log in and out of the apps the same way drivers do, because this seems to happen a lot, one writes. Well, they can turn it off, but again, she didn't have access to the POS system. Apparently, she has the ability to report and ban a Dasher, but she doesn't have access to the POS system. Which again, that's why I'm kind of like, really? Is this actually real? But whatever. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. Honestly, a part of me wonders if this is real, if this is a girl overreacting to what a driver did, or if it's just a way for her to be way too tired and blame a Dasher for the reason why she didn't clean up everything. That's kind of where my mind is at. But let's pretend as if it's real. If a store is closed, just report the store closed. Just call support if you have to and have it canceled that way. Get the half pay. It's not worth fighting the food service worker. They just want to go home too. In fact, that's kind of the reason why I think it's fake. But that's neither here nor there. But you want to know where the true pain of this is? It's not simply the canceled order or anything like that. The driver is most likely, if it's real, operating under a scarcity mindset. This is probably their only source of income, or one of the sources of income they're absolutely dependent on. And they're operating from a position of scarcity. It's probably their only app, and they're concerned of either getting deactivated or not making enough from that one app. So they're acting much more emotionally on the subject. You want to know how you prevent that from being the case? Diversify your gig portfolio. UberEats was mentioned. Are you on Grubhub? Instacart was not mentioned, but referenced. Are there any other apps that are available to you through catering apps, food delivery, grocery delivery, package delivery, etc.? Have you developed an exit strategy? The gig economy is an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal, not the goal. And it is vital that you have a way to make an income that is not dependent on your activity. So that way, when you show up to a restaurant and they are closed for whatever reason, good or bad, you're not frustrated at the workers, or frustrated at the situation, or frustrated that you have to call support. You're just dealing with it. But not everybody knows how to diversify or to develop those exit strategies. And one of the best ways you can look into those opportunities is through the Driven Wyld Discord server. The Driven Wyld Discord community is exclusive for gig workers looking to expand their knowledge and expertise in their self-employment and entrepreneurial journeys. I've partnered with high-level professionals to bring you some of the most exclusive benefits based on your personal needs as a gig worker. Exclusive professional opportunities and gig postings. More live streams with high-level professionals in our industry. Educational systems to help you build your own dispatch company, as well as other scalable opportunities. By the way, Driven Wyld is also kicking off their Dispatching for Beginners course in the very near future, and we are changing the game and transforming how businesses serve customers and how gig workers get more opportunities. So whether you're a gig worker looking for more opportunities to earn, or looking for an exit strategy because the gig economy is an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal and not the goal, and you would like to see something with more growth potential and scalability, there's something here for you. Check out the link in the description and get started making the most amount of money in the least amount of time and in the safest possible way. We are excited and looking forward to helping you secure your financial future. future. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time.